What if 1 year from now you are 40% happier? That's not fucking magic. That's science. According to positive psychology, 40% of your happiness is driven by daily mindsets you choose and the actions you take. Not your past, not your DNA, but how you live on purpose. And that's exactly what we do in Thrive Midlife. Hey, I'm Coach Kira. I created Thrive for women over 40 who are done doing it alone, sick of numbing or second guessing, and finally ready to build the confidence, connection, and meaning in this next chapter. Thrive is a 6-month science-backed group coaching experience that blends positive psychology, emotional regulation, neuroscience, creativity, and a wildly supportive crew of women who inside Thrive, you'll get a full personal life assessment, 3 one-on-one coaching sessions to map your uni path with me, weekly group workshops with real tools, skills, and mindset practice, and a kickoff retreat in Madison, Wisconsin this fall with me. Think apple picking, pizza farms, goat petting, cider-fueled breakthroughs, and lots of cheese. So if you're looking for a place to learn, laugh, cry, unlearn, grow, and finally feel seen, empowered, and moving you forward, this is it. Learn the tools, feel the joy, build the friendships, find your worth, and start living like you fucking mean it. All of the information about Thrive is now available at thrivemidlifeprogram.com with the early bird discount through May 31st, 2025. Get in there. Life is weirdly a lot harder than we've been told. And midlife? That's a whole other can of worms that I was completely unprepared for. But here's the good news. There are so many new skills and mindsets that we can learn to make even the toughest days a little bit better. You just haven't learned them. Welcome to Thrive with Kira, a smart and scary podcast for women in midlife that teaches the skills to get more joy and love in your life. Join me weekly as I teach science-based, smarty-farty topics and break them down into bite-sized lessons that you can apply to your life, all while sharing my own shit show life stories that you can learn from. I'll be talking regularly about getting more joy on a daily basis, thriving in midlife, yes, you can, figuring out menopause, healthy dating and relationships, building self-worth, growth mindset, adult friendships, and also just easy mindfulness, so we can stop just surviving and start learning how to thrive. Hello there, sugar pants. Holy shit, fuck a duck. Here I am. Hi, welcome to Thrive. I'm Kira. Kind of shit the bed on some podcasts lately, guys. Life has shown up. It just has. Sweet senior dog Rexy had to have an emergency surgery last week. We almost lost him, but he is here, being sweet and begging for food, as he always is. Danny has had multiple surgeries, and it has challenged us, our roles in a relationship and our foundation, all of it. But I am here, ready to talk, ready to teach, ready to help you figure out the fuck up world and life right now the best that I know how. Welcome back to Thrive. It's time for mail call, mail call, mail call. Kira's got another one. That's from camp. I miss camp. Do you guys know that my ultimate goal is to find an old school camp and turn it into a retreat center for everyone, right? That's also an animal sanctuary that people can come and learn and heal and hang out with animals and hang out with me. Like, that's my ultimate goal. Anybody listening to this is like weirdly independently wealthy, and I want to help you make that happen. I'm putting it out to the fucking universe. But guys, there is a shit ton going on over here, as there always is. And there's a shit ton going on in the world and in life. And I'm going to help. I'm going to help. And I am so thankful, because I haven't said this lately, that there's been transitions in this podcast. It's been named probably 4 or 5 different things over the last 10 plus years. And if you're still listening, if you're still sticking with me, if you're still learning from this, that fucking means something to me. It really does. So thank you. I will keep showing up. I will keep trying to put good, thoughtful, helpful content out there. And if you're loving this, or if you're ready to go to the next level, there are so many cool ways to work with me right now. one-on-one packages, everything from dating to self-worth to just doing a life assessment and reset, to, of course, Thrive cohort, the fall one opening. Guys, Thrive is everything I hoped it was going to be and more. The daily feedback, the daily scripts, the daily pep talks. I am up these women's asses in the best and most beautiful way. Oh my God, that sounded terrible. I'm sorry. But it's true. I'm checking in almost on the daily. If you think about having that kind of support and consistent feedback and holding the mirror up, that's the big thing I've heard again and again lately from women saying, I'm changing, I see it, I'm growing. Somebody actually texted me this morning, yesterday that I felt in years. Physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it. That was the goal. And originally, when I put Thrive out there last year and I created this program from fucking scratch, by the way, I don't think I gave myself enough credit for that. Creating a humongous life-changing program. I'm just proud of myself. That shit is hard and it is working. Oh my God, it's working so well. I could not be more happy and more excited by the outcomes. I believe that I'll be bringing on a few of the current participants on in the next week or two just to talk about what they're doing, because I'm just not going to feel shitty about selling my services because I give a ton. I would say the majority of my day is giving away free time, whether I'm talking to a potential client, whether I'm doing podcasts, this one and Rom-Com Rescue, or being on someone else's podcast, whether I am creating Instagram posts or carousels, which have crazy took off if you aren't following me, and a lot of things. So I will not feel bad by telling people I can fucking change their lives. And I am here when you are ready. And there are even people from Thrive willing to talk to people who are thinking about it. But guys, I've changed it up. It's now 6 months long. I've made it more affordable and accessible due to the world. And it is priced for high touch support. You can't get lost in this program. You can't hide in this program. You can, but I'm obnoxious, so you know, and adorable. And there's not much better than having a rough day and having me come in with a unicorn emoji singing you a song to make you laugh and make it a little bit better. I do that shit. That's the kind of shit I do. I'm doing a podcast series, so I will definitely be back. That feels a little easy for me because of the amount that I'm showing up for my Thrive participants as well as just my one-on-one clients. I don't have as much time. It's a little easy to come kind of do a series in a short period of time than come weekly right now. So next week, I'm actually going to be doing a pretty fun midlife series. It's going to be called This Is Not a Phase, Midlife Rants, Revelations, and Realness. And it's going to be a 5-part podcast series starting next week. I'm going to just be talking about what I'm really noticing about midlife right now. Since I've done this podcast, I have really doubled down on understanding midlife and its gifts, its curses, and everything in between. So I will be here probably starting Monday or Tuesday next week for 5 days, hopefully in a row. I'm doing the best I can over here and hopefully bring some realness and revelations to you, because this time in life is not for the weak. So today is going to be a little bit of Mod Podge of stories and what's been going on that I want to share and I think could help other people, as well as just something that came up with a former client recently that I'm like, you know what? I want to put a podcast out there about that. Because that's what I did for years and years, right? Where I would be coaching somebody or I would be teaching a course and something would come up and I'm like, ooh, this is probably a good podcast. So a couple of things. First of all, anybody who's been listening to this for a while knows that I actually met my husband, Danny, while I've been doing this podcast. If you go back real far, you'll hear us dating. You'll hear his first interview. I talk a lot about just some of the growing pains and shit that I went through in the first couple years of us dating. But we are now on our way to 11 years together, guys. That's how fucking long I've been doing this business. 17, actually. 17! Shut the fuck up. I did not think I would be doing anything for 17 years. But damn if I don't love it, and damn if I'm not good at it at this point. Because I am. But I speak very openly about my relationship on here because A, I have an amazing partner who gives me permission to do so because I always ask. And B, so that we can learn because I don't think we truly see people's relationships. And we make a lot of assumptions about relationships and love and who has a healthy relationship and how it works and all the things. And so I'm willing and always happy to bring my truth, my stories, what I know to help you guys. So let me tell you, this has been planned for a while, but Danny, although 5 years younger than me, has recently had not one, but two surgeries just to better his life. So, first of all, even though he's only 46, he got a hip replacement surgery. His arthritis was so bad. The doctor was like, we don't usually do them on people this young, but we're going to make an exception. So here's the greatest thing about Danny. Danny is a true fucking solid partner. He set us up for the best amount of success possible. We had the house ready, we had the walker ready, we filled our fridge and refrigerator with easy, quick meals and everything that I could get together. All of this shit. Like he took care of it. Right? He took care of it. He knew these surgeries were going to be a big thing and they're going to be hard. And let me tell you this, we had no idea how much this was going to fuck with us. We had zero idea. He was like ready. He was actually ready 2 months ago. We had to push the surgery back because we got COVID in February. And oh my God, we had no idea of the mental mind fuck that was going to come for him with this. How just we had to change up our roles in this house and it did not go easily or well for either of us. And I will be honest that Danny and I have fought in the last month to month and a half more than we've fought in the last 5+ years of our relationship. And that includes moving to other cities and countries together and back. Like, it was that tough on us. It was humbling. One thing I'll say about Danny and I and our relationship is it is really highly functioning. Now, I know that's the most snoozeville, boring way to describe a relationship, but man, I'll tell you the safety and security I feel knowing we both know we're going to show up. We both know how we're going to show up. We both know who we are for each other and that we can come together and solve things. Just makes my day fucking better, right? It makes his day better. And it just all went down the toilet when the surgeries happened. All of a sudden, things that he was so used to doing for himself, for this house, he couldn't do anymore. Someone else, aka me, had to pick up the slack, and I don't think I was expecting the amount of time, energy, and work it was all going to take. And then throw in that neither of us are sleeping. So he can't sleep because of the pain from his hip replacement surgery. I'm not sleeping because of perimenopause. It also was just like when my allergies, seasonal allergies kicked in. Oh my God. This house was drama, so much drama. Our cat wasn't sleeping. Rex wasn't sleeping because we now know he had a mass on his spleen that he had to get taken out recently. We lost our shit. And there was multiple times where I was like, what's going on? Who are you right now? Who am I right now? We are not being ourselves. But man, we got through it. We actually laughed. Like we had such a bad fight one day. And just later in the day, we were both like, I cannot even believe we had a fight that bad. We know better. We do better. But I just want to say that no matter how well you set up your relationship, no matter how good you are at it, right? Both of us are really good at it at this point. We have taught each other how to treat each other over 10 years. Like we have got this down and our relationship is really kind and thoughtful and healthy. And it still was a shit show for a little bit because life shows up. There were changes and I cannot even tell you the kind of mental shit that Danny went through that I did not see. And by the way, he's been totally okay with me sharing this. And I couldn't believe how it held up the mirror of maybe how much he was really doing in this house and that I need to step that up. So even though it was hard, we got through it. And as I think and believe most good and healthy relationships, that conflict, that growing pain, that time we had to get through just made us better and made us appreciate each other more. Knowing that we're choosing this, we're choosing each other when we're sometimes jerks. Because sometimes we are all jerks. But that's the thing about love and relationships. And I'm talking a little bit of love and relationships because A, that's the core of what I talked about for a really long time. And I think it's still the core of a lot of our lives. Whether you're in a primary romantic relationship or not, you still have family and coworkers and friendships and siblings a lot of times and parents and whatever that are helping and driving you nuts at all times. Am I correct? Am I right? But conflict is real. Conflict is going to happen even when you have shit on lockdown. It's all part of life, relationships, and love. Which leads me to my next topic. I keep in touch with a lot of my clients who are not actively working with me now, but have either taken a program or a course or worked with me as a coach one-on-one. One of the best things that I am proud of is that I continue to show up. If they show up in my Instagram or Messenger or whatever, however they know how to reach out to me, I'm usually there giving them thoughts and feedback because that's the person I want to be in my life and in this business. If they're still out there dating and struggling with it, which why wouldn't you be? And since I've stopped talking about dating, I'm seeing that there's a huge backlash on online dating. And that's all I have to say about it. Get the fuck out of your house and meet people in real ways, which is going to lead me into the story right now. But I had this come up with one of my former clients. She was, hey, I went to this event and I met some people and I have some questions. Do you have a second? And I'm like 100%. So, first of all, she lives in California and not necessarily LA or San Francisco. I think she lives more rurally, but is close enough. And she has been to some really cool singles events. And I want to encourage you guys, get back to speed dating, get back to anywhere where you could be across from somebody. Is it fun? No. Is it comfortable? Fuck no. Is it where real love and connection is? Hell yes. That. So she actually got to do a couple of things lately that she shared with me because I always love to hear about really smart events. One of them was a bookstore meet cute. And by the way, I think that any independent bookstores could do this because I think it's a win-win for the business and for the people. But they did a bookstore meet cute and it was set up where there was like little stations. You could do a puzzle together. There was one that just had questions you could ask, and you could participate as much or little as you wanted. But I thought that was like fantastic. And then she also went to one where your friends pitch you. They actually get on stage with a little like slide deck about you and pitch you to other people in the room. And although like former single me is, oh my God, that sounds horrifying. She had a great time and ended up meeting some really great people. All right. And she got this text from a guy who she met briefly at the event. They only talked for a couple of minutes, but she gave him her number and he texted her the next day and she's like, okay, I don't know what to think about this. This is what I love. This is what I know. This is what like vibes through me. This guy sends us text and he's, hi, I'm so glad that I got your number. I know we didn't get to talk a lot, but I just loved everything you said. And I saw you earlier in the evening. And by the time we talked, I thought, wow, she is amazing. And he goes on and on about how amazing she seems and he's excited. And he actually says, I just think you're perfect. Now, 24-year-old Kira, she can channel butterflies on shit like that. 51-year-old perimenopausal Kira, she's got no time, zero time. And the thing is that I'm going to come back to some basics here, which is number one, I feel like we have been taught that somebody, whether they know us or not, if they somehow detect that we are perfect and super lovable and they like us right away, that it is twin flame bullshit, soulmate magic, whatever we want to say, happening. Nutso in the butso is what I call it because we believe it. If somebody comes to us and says, I feel like it's meant to be, especially as women, there's the idea, if you are my age particularly, that we were going to be saved, that there was some man on a white horse, white knight coming to save us and pay our bills and love us and all of the shit. That is not true. And even though this looks like the best message, right? Oh, you're amazing. You seem really funny. We have a lot in common. I just think you're perfect. I had to be like, hold up. That's actually a big old red flag. And I wanted to come over and talk about it because I don't think most of us see it as a red flag still. I think we are still a little bit in denial or not understanding how real love works. And more importantly, how healthy relationships are started, created, and maintained. I know, a bunch of boring, shitty words. Snoozeville. I get it. But I'll tell you this, it's not a snoozeville when you're not fighting that much. It's not a snoozeville when you're not heartbroken because you thought this was your time. This one was the one. This is it. But you actually keep your eyes open, take it slowly, and see if it's it. Here is why that text message was a red flag. Number one, this guy does not know her. He is 100% tied to some level of fairy tale story in his head about who he thinks she is. This is all in his head. For some reason, he might be really attracted to her, which is usually some kind of a familiarity thing, right? So maybe it looks like an ex or a movie star that he looks up to or whatever. Doesn't matter, right? But we sometimes have looks that we like or things like that. But when somebody doesn't know you, and by the way, under 3 months is somebody who doesn't know you at least 3 months. People who are yelling perfection, people who are yelling love, this is not real. That might be the first stage of the relationship, which is called the honeymoon period or the honeymoon phase. It's also called the obsessive love phase. Guys, it's not real and it is fucking us over. And let me tell you, this guy is not doing this on purpose. He is not trying to be a walking red flag. He has bought into the bullshit just as much as women have. We have all been sold some big old lies that love comes quickly and easily if it's right, if it's real, if that person's the right person. And I will tell you, there are people who are better matches for us. There are people who are just going to work a little bit easier and better because you have similar relationship values, because you have similar relationship goals. Also, things like being in your age range helps. Danny and I think really connected because we're from the same area of Wisconsin. We had very similar upbringings. I don't have to explain my world to him besides being 5 years older to him and him having 3 channels. So me making references about things like cable TV and him not. Oh boy. It's not real. And I can't even try to shout this from the mountaintops that it's not real. If you like, or more importantly, have a crush on somebody who you barely know, or you've barely met, or you've barely talked to, maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a person you met, maybe you had a date. The fucking fear in our body is real, my friends. It can convince us to do a lot of things. But when it comes to perfect, when it comes to even being a perfect match or perfect for each other, I don't fucking believe it anymore. I don't buy it. It's not real. And these kind of thoughts on love not only keep us single, but they keep us unhappy in relationships or just building really shitty ones. First of all, let's talk about why you're not perfect for somebody, or just the word perfect should be taken away from love. Number one, love is actually the opposite of perfect. You can't love perfect. I said this once, I'll say it again. I read it from a book years and years ago. Somebody can like you for being nice. Somebody can respect you for having your shit together, but somebody can only love you when we are vulnerable enough to let them in and let them love us. Love lies in the cracks. Love lies in the vulnerability. Love lies in the fuck ups, in the forgiveness. Love lies through in the tough conversations and growing pains of a relationship. Yes, you can get to stable ground. Yes, you should definitely have some standards and some deal breakers of things that you want or don't want. There will never be anybody perfect for you. You will not be perfect for them. And anybody who declares that you are doesn't either understand love, relationships, and is probably emotionally a little immature because you can't love perfect. Love is the opposite of perfect. And now let's move that over to perfection and perfectionism, which I think is fucking killing all of us everywhere, whether to do with love, friendships, relationships, jobs, anything. Perfect. We see perfect online. We make up stories that this person has a perfect life or this person has a perfect relationship. It's why I just came on here and said, oh, by the way, Danny and I just had a really fucking rough patch because I am not going to lie. We function so well together, but we're not perfect and we're not perfect for each other and we're not perfect together. We're human, we're kind, we're honest, and we're real. We're vulnerable and we talk through things and talk shit out so both of us understand. And let me tell you, I have become an over communicator in this relationship and I've encouraged him to do the same. Because otherwise, sometimes we just start making assumptions. Sometimes I'll be like, what did that mean? And if I don't ask him, I'll make it up. I'll find something. And then I'm like getting weirdly mad at him for something that isn't even real or true. Perfection and perfectionism and being perfect for each other have nothing to do with love, have nothing to do with healthy relationships. They have to do with crushes. They have to do with the fixed mindset. They have to do with fairy tales and bullshit that we were sold that's not true and will never get you to love. This guy who said, you seem perfect without even being on a date, with only meeting her for a couple of make it make sense. It doesn't. All we can do is go, oh, hey, this person seems kind of like a good fit and has potential. That's all you can fucking know. But you can't date on potential. I've got about 3 episodes on that. That makes you an asshole if you're just dating for what you hope that person turns into. You don't want to be dated for that. But I also want to talk about just trying to be perfect is a lie. Perfectionism is real, and it is actually a psychological disorder, and most of the time, a trauma response. So, why is trying to be perfect or our best self all the time and holding ourselves up or other people to really high standards? I'm not going to say it's bad, it's just unhelpful. That's what I say a lot lately, which is this is helpful and this is unhelpful. This is going to get you to where you want to go. This one is not. First of all, perfect is a moving target. What's perfect today will maybe not feel good enough tomorrow. Perfectionism never lets you rest. It keeps raising the bar like a toxic fucking boss who loves your initiative and then still adds on 17 more tasks. You're never done. It's never enough. That's the bullshit of perfectionism. Next, it masquerades as high standards. Let me tell you, we just got through like weeks and weeks of self-worth work and self-compassion work. And it is so hard to let go of this idea that we need to beat ourselves up for motivation to get shit done or to become better people. And perfectionism masquerades as those high standards, but it's not actually about excellence. It's about fear. It's about fear of failing. It's about fear of judgment. It's about fear about not being enough, not being worthy, that calls itself being driven, being motivated, being better, being superior. I love all the crazy ass conversations. I see it all, man. I'm on social media enough, especially Instagram, because my Instagram is blown up recently. I wrote an email about it, but I see all the things and the how do you get a high value man or a high value woman? Like, that's not the dickiest thing to say. Get your shit together, heal, understand love and what a good relationship looks like, and use that as a guide to choose to build a good relationship that works and lasts. Where do the high value men or women hang out? Is just us not trusting ourselves or having the correct amount of knowledge to be able to choose wisely, walk away if it's not working. I see through all the shit now. Oh my God. All of the avoidance shit, all of the anxious shit, all of the fucking men telling women who they're supposed to be to get love and how they're supposed to look, it makes me literally want to vomit because all of that bullshit is keeping us from love. It keeps people at arm's length. It keeps us feeling superior or in power or them in control and in power. It has nothing to do with love. Next, perfectionism steals from your progress. You could be 90% done, but perfectionism will only let you obsess over the 10% that isn't. You don't get to feel proud, you only feel behind and not enough. Perfectionism kills creativity. When you're scared to make mistakes, you don't take risks. You play it safe, you don't try new things, you don't go after things you want, and every fun idea just turns into a stress spiral of you not being good enough. It also fuels procrastination. You don't wait to start, not because you're lazy, you wait because you can't do it perfectly or flawlessly right away. And if you can't do it perfectly or flawlessly, it doesn't even feel worth doing. It hijacks your self-worth. If your value is only tangled in the outcomes of what you achieve or what you accomplish, first of all, that's self-esteem, not self-worth. They are two different things. My dad used to say something. We used to call them Winstonisms. My father passed a few years ago. And he used to say, well, it's perfect and you can't do better than perfect. And I said that for years and years and years and years and years because that's the goal. Perfect, right? If we hit perfect, life will get good. Love will be easy. Everything will feel amazing. But what we were not taught, what we are not told is that perfect doesn't exist. It can drive you crazy trying to access it. It's the opposite of love. You can't love perfect. Think about it. You meet somebody who is seemingly, and because they're human, unless you're dating AI or robots now, they are seemingly perfect. They have their life together. They've got a great job. They have good friends and family. They give back. They work out every day. Where do you fit in? What do you offer? Where do you fit into their life, their world? This idea of perfect and trying to be perfect because we believe that will get us love. As a reminder, if you look it up, almost every supermodel has been divorced, has been cheated on. The most beautiful women in the world have had tough relationships. I mean, some of them, if you've ever read their autobiographies or watched documentaries about them, a lot of them went through hellish and really not healthy experiences. We think that perfection, we think that we can get there, we can't. But even seeking it keeps us lonely, isolated, frustrated, disappointed constantly, and fucking alone, even when we're in relationships, even when we're in friendships. That's not love. That's not getting us to love. That's not getting us to healthy relationships. Because also, what is it teaching the person that you're married to, you're dating, you're getting to know, even a new friend? When they hear how you talk to yourself, when they hear you maybe being hard on yourself about what you ate yesterday, or that you didn't work out, or you were hoping to get this done and you didn't, and now you're like pissed off at yourself, what they're thinking is, how long until they turn this conversation, this high standard, this unrealistic standard on me? How long until I am the one who receives the brunt of this perfectionism? When your kids hear you shaming yourself, blaming yourself, angry at yourself for not being perfect, for not doing something correctly, right, whatever we make it, they're learning that they also need to add that shame and blame to their life because they're learning that love, but it's not love, but seemingly love, is attached to being perfect, to trying to be perfect, to try to do right and good all the time. There is nothing wrong with trying to be a better human. There is nothing wrong with healing. In fact, I personally encourage it. There's nothing wrong with trying to better your life, get healthier, all of it. But if you're doing it by blaming and shaming yourself, that's actually counterproductive because all you will do is shut down and quit because you're so fucking scared of that voice when you screw up. The other day, one of my current clients sent me a quote. I'm not going to look it up. Something along the lines of, you can still be loved even though you're healing, even though you're a work in progress. And she sent it to me and she's like, I just think this is a good reminder. And, I kind of gave it a heart and a thumbs up. And the next day I came back after some coffee and said, actually, I have some thoughts about this one. And you paid me good money to give you feedback and thoughts on shit. Yes, we can always be loved. In fact, love is just an emotion. It lasts about 90 seconds, and we have to create friendships, situations, and relationships that bring us back to love regularly. We can have love anytime, any day. We can have that level of connection time with lots of different people. However, what I have seen is people that are hurting, people who haven't healed, people who haven't learned to build their self-worth and they're building their self-esteem or confidence. They're collecting achievements and accomplishments instead of healthy belief systems. And they haven't healed enough or are self-aware enough to know where they're sabotaging themselves, where they're pushing the good people away or chasing people that are not going to be able to give them love and healthy relationship. So yes, we can always have love on some level that isn't about anybody else but us. Because if we don't know how to receive it, if we don't know how to get ourselves in healthier relationships, if we don't know how to set boundaries so that we can trust other people, if we don't have some basic self-worth in place, we will push it away. We will attach to those who can't give it to us. We will fucking hustle for it or try to earn it where it's not offered to us and then get pissed off and blame love. But that's not love. This guy who reached out to my client to say, I just think you seem perfect. He is looking for love in all the wrong places. He is looking to find somebody that fits into the fairy tale story he has in his head rather than connect with a real human person who has flaws and bad days and imperfections and says the wrong thing just like he does. I'm so angry at all of the advice online that keeps us so far away from love and connecting. I think that that's what's going on in our world. I think that that's what's going on in our country. I think it all comes back to this feeling of disconnect, isolation, and lack of love. Because when people feel loved and seen and heard and trusted and respected, which are all parts of a healthy relationship, they're not fucking trying to tear everybody else down. They're not trying to oppress major groups of people. They're not trying to take away the rights of women that we've had for years. I'm not saying it is your job to go out and give everybody a fucking hug, although I truly believe that the world, if we all just stopped right now and gave everybody a hug or a couple of hugs for a couple of days, I think we might be surprised would change. I'm not even joking. Love is not an enigma. It's not even that hard. I know you can tell me to fuck off on that one because it feels hard some days. It's on the other side of good relationships, on the other side of self-worth. It's on the other side of liking yourselves, and stop trying to be perfect and stop trying to find a partner who's perfect so then you start to like yourself. That's not going to work either. This guy's looking for a fairy tale. Be looking for humans because those are the only ones you can connect unless you're going to go AI. I don't recommend it because it's the human where love exists. It's the vulnerability where love exists. It's certainly not in the perfect. You don't want somebody calling you perfect. You want somebody who says, I am here even on the tough days. I am here even when you fuck up, because you will. I'm here even when we're sometimes jerks to each other because we're hurting or struggling or just fucking tired and perimenopausal. But if you can't see it, if you don't have anybody kindly holding up the mirror in your life, that is hard. That's what I do for you. I do that through one-on-one coaching. I do that through the Thrive program. And the life that you can have, no matter the world and what's going on with the world, the self-worth, the happiness, the connection that you can have no matter what's happening in the world. Nobody can fucking take that away from you. But you do have to get out of your own way to get it. Whether that be a friendship, whether that be a relationship, whether that be just even going after the job you want. We have to have some shit in line to go after it or believe we deserve it. You deserve it. If you're not sure, if you're like, Kira, I'm kind of getting you. I don't know where I get in my own way. That's okay. Jump on a call with me. They're free. There's no pressure. I'm not a good salesperson. I'm like, hey, this is who I am and this is what I do. If it feels like a good match, let's work together. If it doesn't, that's okay. But if you let me, I'll change your life. If you let me, I will help you feel better than you felt in a long time. If you let me, I will help you learn how to regulate your emotions so you don't shut down or have to numb all the time. There is still so much work we can individually do. And I know some people are tired of the work, but I'll tell you the unhealed life that I have had in the past was 17,000 times worse than the hard growing pains of the work or the uncomfortableness of having to look at my shit and what I'm doing and what's keeping me from the life I want. Can I help? I'd love to. I've got openings right now. And of course, as you know, Thrive is open and has a sweet ass discount through next week. You don't have to feel like shit. You also don't have to spend your days trying to be perfect and then feeling like shit when you aren't. I got you. All right, guys. Whoosh, that's it for today. And hopefully we'll be back with the series next week. I am going to really, really try. If you listen to this, I think you're the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, the cat's meow, all of the other 1920s sayings that I still think are fun. And it means the world that you listen and you trust me and you're willing to think about life for yourself a little bit differently. Because that's how we change and that's how we make the world a better place. All right, guys. Was this helpful? Tell me how you're doing. Kira at thrivewithkira.com. If you liked this, please subscribe so you know exactly when things go live. Finally, if you really love it, please leave a review, whether it's just some stars on Apple or Spotify, or really writing down what you are learning and loving about this podcast. I read every single one. They fucking make my day. You are the wind beneath my wings, and it helps get it out there. Because honestly, as much as I can say this, for as much feedback I get about this podcast, which is a lot, and most of it all very positive, except for the people who don't like my swearing and don't fucking care. Even if you never share this with another person, by you writing an anonymous review, that lets other people know this might be something that they want to check out. All right, guys, I'll see you soon. No more surviving. Let's thrive.